Now, we on the Wheels team try very hard not to have any preconceived ideas about cars that we're asked to test, but sometimes it's very hard, you know, not to be influenced by the reputation, the aura that surrounds a particular car, even before you get in the driving seat. With this car, for example, we've declared no contest because just like every other ordinary person, of course we've got preconceptions. We'd absolutely love one, and what's more, we'd love to have the money to be able to afford one. The Rolls Royce Silver Spirit, the latest model from those creators of fine carriages for the nobility, who seem to produce new models with about the same sense of urgency as a decade unfolding. And why not? Because after all, Rolls-Royce have never subjected themselves to the whims of passing fashion. They bring out a new model when, and only when, they feel that there are definite advantages to be gained. Well, just how good is this new model? I'm probably not the best person to make comparisons with the last model, which was the Silver Shadow, because when that was introduced, I actually wasn't old enough to hold a driving license. But without comparisons, I think you can sum up just how good this car is in just 2 words: the best. Take a look at the way the doors fit, for example. That expensive thud as they shut, and it's the finish which is one of the things that makes the car so special. Even in the boot there's a carpet that wouldn't disgrace our producer's living room. And then take a look inside. Now this is one car that you don't slip behind the wheel of, you step up into it. And then you're faced with this beautiful dashboard, which is very different from almost any other dashboard anywhere in the world. It's made of burr walnut, and it's comforting to know that there's a spare veneer that matches perfectly waiting for you back at the factory just in case you ever need it. Well, this is one occasion where I wish that we could bring you smelly vision, because then you could sense the beautiful aroma of the rich, beautiful leather, Connolly hide in fact, of course combined with the burr walnut wood. Travelling in the car is really a transport of delight. It seems too mundane to call it merely driving. Smooth, silent, and where it's allowed fast, right up to 120 miles per hour. Road holding, power output, the acceleration and the braking are, to quote Rolls-Royce, adequate. More than adequate, I'd say. The fuel consumption might make you gulp a bit though, around 14 miles to the gallon, and as the tank takes 24 gallons, it costs about £40 to fill it up. Oh, and don't forget that at least £52,000 is needed to buy the car that goes with the tank. Most of these cars are sold for export, with the United States being the biggest market. They also export to Japan, and last week Rolls launched their Silver Spirit and the slightly longer Silver Spur there, and discovered a curious phenomenon. Apparently Rolls noticed that they're selling just as many right-hand as left-hand drive cars. In Japan they drive on the left like us, so why were people buying left-hand drive versions of the longer Silver Spur? Well, it seems that traffic in uptown Tokyo is so bad that chauffeurs simply can't open their doors in time to get out and run around to open the door for their bosses on the curbside. So they buy left-hand drive cars for the chauffeur to slip nimbly onto the curb and whip the door open without the tycoon wasting a moment. Well, I wouldn't mind even being a chauffeur if I had a car like this to drive, and the best thing of all is that it's British.